President gave a press conference yesterday. It's good that he's getting out there and talking about COVID-19, the pandemic, the violence. He needs to keep it short, needs to keep it to the point, needs to be assertive. But there are a couple things about that press conference which, frankly, just simply need to be corrected. Number one, it doesn't look good when you flip-flop every single day. Now he's in the camp of Dr. Anthony Fauci that you have to have a mask, after Fauci many months ago said masks don't work. And in fact, our client, Judy Mykovitz, who worked with Fauci at the National Institute of Health and also at Fort Detrick, Maryland, where they create actually these bioweapons, or at least study them, and in fact cooperated with Wuhan, China, in creating the bioweapon that was ultimately released. That is a fact, by the way. You can't really talk out of both sides of your mouth and hope to win an election. And that's the problem here, is the American people are getting conflicting information from the president almost on a daily basis. It's not coherent. I don't know who's advising him. He needs to get new advisors. He needs to get new physicians around him. He has to take a stand and stay with that, as Ronald Reagan used to do, the great President Ronald Reagan. And this president has been great at times, and he can be great again. And in my personal capacity, I hope that he does get elected. I don't say that as head of Freedom Watch. But there was something else, frankly, which was simply not accurate that was told the American people. That is that he sent federal agents to these cities. There already are federal agents in these cities. In every major city, there's a federal building, such as in Los Angeles, or in Philadelphia, or in Chicago, or in Seattle, or in Portland. There's a federal building, and there's an FBI. And every different agency has representatives there. But notwithstanding the fact that it's likely he didn't send federal agents, they're already there. And of course, they should be protecting federal buildings. The president needs to go beyond that. He needs to protect the entire city. He needs to remove these radical leftists that are trying to destroy property, that are looting and burning, maiming and killing, particularly in cities like Chicago and elsewhere, and Portland, I might add, and Seattle, and you can go on and on and on. As I said yesterday, just in the last few weeks, these barbarians, these animals have gone into neighborhoods in Beverly Hills, California with T-shirts saying, "Eat the rich," which basically means kill the rich. That's what it means. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. And unless the president steps up to the plate and starts to act presidential, he's going to lose to a Joe Biden who is being kept under wraps so he doesn't make, quote, mistakes, because the guy is brain dead. He's a plagiarist. His IQ is extremely low, and they don't want to expose him. And as I've said many, many times, Americans sadly don't vote for someone. They vote against someone. And that's how we got Clinton. That's how we got George W. Bush. That's how we got Obama. And yes, and that's how we got Trump, because it's a reaction. And we're in a reactive mode right now with the economy collapsing even more. The president says the coronavirus is going to get even worse. Just a few days earlier, he said everything's getting better. So what do you believe? When the president doesn't have a coherent message, the American people get concerned. And that's why the American people need to rise up themselves. Forget about the politicians. They're going to play games on both sides of the aisle. They want to be elected. Well, I got news for you. The politicians that are up for re-election this year are probably going to be shown the door. And unless the president shapes up, he's going to be shipping out. And that's sad and that's regrettable, because what are we going to get? We're going to get a Joe Biden who's essentially brain dead, who'll probably have a stroke in office and die. And then we're going to wind up with some crazy vice president. And in an act of reverse racism, he won't consider anybody that's white or anybody of any other persuasion in terms of ethnicity, religion, or anything else. He's got to have a black female. Well, the pool of black females is extremely small in terms of the ones that actually are qualified to be vice president, much more president. Kamala Harris is smart enough, but she's evil and dishonest. Michelle Obama, we know what she is. She's a racist towards whites and others. You don't want her in there. And that's probably what we're going to get. You're probably going to see Michelle Obama as the vice presidential candidate, and maybe she'll bow out afterwards and they'll insert somebody else. Because frankly, she'd rather rake in the money with Barack in her $8 million mansion right now than actually do much of anything else. But that's my message for today. Support Freedom Watch. We're the ones who are fighting the communist Chinese with class actions in Dallas, Texas, Jerusalem, Israel, criminal complaints in The Hague. We're the ones who have brought cases on behalf of the police department in Philadelphia. We're going to be bringing cases elsewhere. I've done it in Dallas, Texas, against Black Lives Matter, Farrakhan, the New Black Panthers Party, and others. Support us because we are your Justice Department. You have no Justice Department. And forget about this concept of federal agents. They're not doing much of anything other than watching what's going on right now. And they were already in these cities. They weren't sent. Tell the truth to the American people. We can take the truth, but we need to also take action. So go to freedomwatchusa.org. Sign up for our Justice League. See if you qualify for our class action in Dallas, Texas, against the communist Chinese to compensate us for the damage that has been done, which neither the president nor the government is addressing. In fact, it's coming out of your pocket with new taxes and everything else. And share this podcast far and wide, which you can find on freedomwatchusa.org, Spotify, iTunes, Roku, the new equivalent of Twitter, Parler, Parler. Sign up for that on Facebook, everywhere. Share it far and wide because I try to tell the truth, and I thank Radio America for allowing me to tell the truth as I see it, because frankly, you're not getting the truth on Fox News or the other cable networks. You know that. It's for them. It's for advertising. It's for dollars. It's not reality. God bless you. God bless America. Stay safe. And I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast of Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman. Until then, thank you for listening to me.